Hey guys, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? We have a great show for you tonight.
Heck yeah.
Comics Cast Freestyle. We're going to be talking about Batman. We're going to be talking about Obi-Wan, aliens. We could do a little fan casting. We got a bunch of stuff ready for you guys. So let's get Freestyle started. Let's go, guys.
All right.
Where we look like? There we go.
Now we look like.
Don't forget, guys. Humans. Don't forget, Freestyle. Go like us on Facebook. Go subscribe. All of that on YouTube. Follow us. All of that. We're trying to get more viewers, more subscribers to help boost our viewers. That way, we could do more for the indie community. If you guys can help us out, go tell your family. Go tell your friends to like and subscribe on YouTube for us. That'd be helping us out.
For sure. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that just kind of get on that just for 1 second before we bounce into some fun. We had success. We've been doing this for a couple of years. Good success on Facebook, but Facebook is kind of all about the community that you're already in. You engage the community you're in, and in indie comics, the end goal is to make comics, and the only way to make more comics is if we sell comics. So we got to broaden the audience and advertise to that new audience. So the biggest thing is that with Facebook, it's been phenomenal. Love Facebook, what we've been doing for the last 2 years, but we really want to grow on YouTube because as we grow, we work that algorithm, and on Instagram, then we're finding that new audience. We're developing that new audience for all of you guys. So if you guys are following us on Art Show, like we've got about 600 Art Show, like boom, like that was only a little pet project we had on the side, just as a way for people to be able to sort of chat off the shows and engage and have their stuff put on a safe space that allows them to be critiqued, but in a way that they feel comfortable. So that was like, we have 600 on that. Instagram's doing really, really well. Facebook has always done great. But we really want to push people to YouTube because as we build that algorithm, we can just develop that new audience and really help out. And as everybody knows, I've said it 1,000 times, it's not about getting that cash money from YouTube. It's just about that algorithm, building it up, getting more viewers for everybody. We're developing other physical content to be able to get out to you guys. That is going to be our focus. So no worries about that. The biggest thing is about building the audience, making it more effective for Comics Cast to help the indie community. That's what it's all about. So,
amen.
I just had to say that.
That's right.
All right, good. So we're going to talk Batman. What's our lineup? Because we got Batman that I've been I can't wait. I advertised earlier that I said, look, you guys, it's an open door policy on Freestyle. It's an open mic night. Literally come in, show me your Batman. I want to see people's Batman. That's what I want to see because all three of us did something. And I think we've seen all of us. Freaking Gerald went ahead and did a little upgrade on his, threw some red on it. I love it. So it was fun. It was fun to do one. Definitely, I got frustrated because there's certain limitations that I have on mine just for making mistakes. But it's a painting. Sometimes it's just fun to paint, get it out there, have some fun with it. Armando, man, what's going on, brother?
Join us, Armando.
Batman. Show us your Batman. I put on Instagram, I said, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Let's go.
That sounds weird, but yeah.
Hey, my Batman. the bat and the body. Anyway, yeah. So Batman, we're gonna go over Obi-Wan. I'm on mixed feelings. You know what I love about Obi-Wan? I'll just you know what? I'm going to save it. So let's talk Batman. Do we want to wait for some people to jump in, or do we want to just kind of go into it? Everyone here has seen Batman now, right? You guys have seen it?
Vic.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you saw it, Vic. Awesome.
Okay, good. You got it.
Okay.
All right, I'll be quiet.
All right, let's.
I don't want to talk.
Maybe we should wait. Maybe we'll give about 5 minutes. Let's just talk. Or how about we show Batman art, our old Batman art? How about
that? Our Hawaii girl probably has not seen it.
Oh, she hasn't.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Nope, I haven't seen it. I knew it. Called her out right away. Mm-hmm. But all right, jump in.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, Marshawn. Come on, Marshawn.
Yeah, let's do it. This is an open mic. Come on in. Show us your Batman. Show us your Batman or your opinions on Batman.
Marshawn can do a K-pop Batman. I'm all about that.
I just can't wait. I can't wait to just have like a breakdown. You know, how about this before we get into Batman? What about maybe we could talk about this as an offline to start to get us started. How about this? I pose to you guys. What would you guys like to see in a future Batman as far as like villain wise? What would you like to see in this framework of this Batman? What would you like to see as far as like future villains?
I don't know. Vic, you want to take that one first?
I think since this one is this movie is more grounded, I think, than the others. It'd be nice to see characters like maybe the Court of Owls.
Yeah,
I think they would. I think
that's
this world pretty good. I can't really see like a Clayface or Mr. Freeze as much as I would want to see Clayface.
I think it's more fantastic. That's
yeah. So those ones. Spoiler alert, for those people that haven't seen it and when you see the ending, I was a little like, again.
Yeah, that was my thing. We'll definitely get to that. Hopefully what that is just saying, hey, he's already a part of this world. Deal with it like he's here. But yeah, I'm trying to hold back. I don't want to get into too much of it. Yeah, but what do you you said what you can't? Oh, what did you say? You said who did you say?
Court of Owls.
Court of Owls. Yeah, but not a specific one. Is Court of Owls tied in with Robin by chance?
It
is. It's kind of like you have to have Robin to have Court of Owls, right?
Well, okay, here.
You do it without a Robin.
Yes and no, I guess.
They could definitely do
in the book, it's tied into Robin because they were like kind of grooming him to be an assassin for them.
They kidnapped him.
Yeah.
So there was that, but they've been there. They've been around since before Robin. So you don't necessarily need him.
Yeah. They planted the seed with the whole.
I think the Court of Owls, I think, is going to be the overarching villain, the Thanos.
I love that they. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Joe.
I just saying that if you watch, we're going to spoiler territories. They talked about the Arkham family and the Wayne family, and I think they're framing it as these are Gotham's founding families, and the Court of Owls are kind of like this cabal of Gotham families. And I think that will probably be a villain that'll be revealed in the third Batman movie. Because I think it's set up to be a trilogy. And I think it'd be great if they didn't just pick up where this Batman ended. They maybe give a 10-year span. And who knows?
Yeah. Let him be better Batman.
He can evolve into that world's greatest detective Batman. And when I heard speculation that kid, that kid might be a Robin.
Right into it. I thought we were trying to avoid that. That's fine.
Well, okay. Well, I'm just saying that they planted a lot of seeds, and if they do 10 years later, and it's like Batman 10 years from then, and then they let it breathe again, and there's like maybe 5 years or something like that, then you can have that fully formed Court of Owls have their major player villain in there. They can have the Bat family can be put in there, and who knows? I
100% agree. I think that if they go into the Court of Owls too early, that'll be like the Batman versus Superman. They gotta develop that.
Yeah.
But I think they could potentially play with Hush a little bit, but then again,
they hinted that too.
Really about Hush or Bane. Hush would be perfect because if they were to, let's say, go 10 years in the future, right? I'm just sharing some things out. If they were to go to Hush and they say 10 years from the ending of this one, then what that could do is that could introduce a lot of villains that are like, hey, movie buff guys, if you don't know the lore, then go read it. We're giving you enough credit to be able to run with it. Bane is the same way. Bane, when he takes down Batman, he uses a bunch of villains, but we've already done that. So I think Hush would be better. And I love that they're already jumping right into his family is not perfect, and it sort of forces that. But yeah, they've got to go 10 years in the future, because I can't, my biggest complaint about this whole movie is the fact that Batman is not Batman. He's not Alpha Batman yet. He's not the Apex Predator Batman. But that being said, it's year 2. So that's fine. My only issue with it is he's got to be more than a vigilante. He can't just be a vigilante. He can't just be a dude that learned how to fight from his butler to beat people up and pummel people in a homemade batsuit. Like, it's got to be more than that. He has to be more than just a guy who learned how to fight really well.
I think
I hope future Batman learns how to like break into buildings instead of slow walking, taking his damn time to walk up and then knock on the door.
Well,
they come in, please.
See, I think this Batman, it had older Batman and newer Batman vibes all together, and it couldn't make up its mind, because they already said at the very beginning, 2 years into it, and you think that he's not going to have this reputation, yet they go out of their way to like show that he's creating fear. He may not even be there, and it's so good how they set it up. But it's sort of like, all right, he has this mystique, he has this fear that he's instilling on the underworld. Yet some people don't know him, and some people know him, and I think that was kind of a weird thing. And then of course, it was so odd when he could walk into like a police investigation and not be like, kicked out or anything like that. It's just like, it took me a while to get used to that, because you expect him to kind of like come in there before the police get there, or he'll go there afterwards, but never just walk in. And then of course you got the police that don't give him any respect, or like some do, some don't. It was just a weird, like, this is the new Batman and this is the old Batman, and it's all rolled into one. So
let's see. Tim said, "I like them to stay away with the main villains. Do one movie about how he is dealing with and growing with several up and coming villains. We need to show more growth and a major setback. Then show this will be moving forward." Batman's like, I guess wouldn't let me
show the whole thing
here. I'll read it off right here. Then show his moving forward. Batman's power is his unrelenting willpower and determination.
Yeah. I mean,
but then I mean, were you really gonna want to see a Batman movie where he's like,
no villain,
no major villain? Like, who's this guy?
I think that was a complaint with this one, is that some people thought there wasn't enough fighting.
Same thing, Gerald. Exactly. This is like, This we got a mystery which he didn't even solve in time to save the city. So it's like we got a Batman who got knocked out twice. We got a Batman who was walked around and then taken into police custody and then couldn't even get himself out of it.
Yeah, like, he needed Gordon.
It was a lot of issues with year 2 Batman. And
one thing I did like, I like the ending, like that glimmer of hope, like that. That they never do that with Batman. Like, usually when he ends, like, there's nobody looking up to Batman. Like when he was helping at the end, I rather enjoyed that, because usually that's what they do with Superman. Like, everybody's looking up to Superman, and they did it this time with Batman, and I kind of like that. There's a lot of this movie. I know a lot of people are raving about it. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I enjoyed it, but I'm not like, oh man, this is like best Batman ever.
Yeah, the whole like he's the best man, the best Batman. I'm like,
he could get there. He could get there.
Like, if you were to combine this movie with the last Batman, then it would have been perfect. Like, you need the heart of Batman in the darkness of a guy who can just destroy everything in front of him.
Okay,
that's the thing. You need the Batman on the swing with the little girl holding her hand until she dissipates into nothing. So that's the Batman we all want.
Well,
dark and brooding, but also loving and caring.
What Vic said, I agree and I disagree. It's like because he mentioned Superman, and Superman is supposed to be the hope part of it, and Batman, he exists in the shadows. He uses fear, and that was the weird thing about this movie, is that he starts out as this angry guy who definitely utilizes the fear part of it.
Right.
And I think that as he matures, he should change his anger and use it to focus so that he becomes that alpha Batman that you're talking about. But Batman's never been about like hope. That's Superman. I think for him, he's supposed to be. He can still evolve.
I think they mixed up hope with inspire. He's supposed to be inspired.
Well, that's another thing. Well, that's another thing too, is because that was the other message in this movie is that his anger inspired people, but inspired people in the wrong way. And then these were like little things that poked at me in terms of some of the hidden agenda things that they were they were slipping in there.
Really catch it, but you know, and that gets touched in the comics where he, you know, if it wasn't for Batman, would there be a Joker? If there wasn't for Batman, would there be these villains that are killing people?
Well, that's the whole. If you go back to like the Marvel movies, Vision, he posed that question too. Yeah. When there was heroes that arose, then there was another force that arose to counter it. So like when Batman came out, then his rogues, you know, developed too. But I have to say that it's I'd like the foundation. We'll see what happens, where it goes with it. I just think there's some mixed messages that are being thrown out there.
Because there was a couple of things. There was a couple of things, and it was clear that they couldn't help themselves but say a few things. They were like, I gotta say this thing. And I was just like, whatever. Okay, fine. You said the thing. Does it make you feel better? Okay, good. Now let's move on. I need a better Batman. I need more than a vigilante. At the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. But I loved it. It was dark, but you could see everything that you needed to see. It was it was beautifully shot. The ideas, the concepts were all there. I have hope that this is going to be a Batman franchise that has a lot of legs and could be really, really good. After watching the very first Batman, the Christopher Nolan stuff, I knew right away that it was never going to be fully Batman. Like the first one, I knew that they had made too many changes. And it was going to be so grounded that I would never see some of my favorite, you know, characters. Bane, you know, we saw a nullified Bane and you know, Nolan universe sort of concept, which was great. They were great movies, but I'm still waiting for that great Batman. I'm just like, come on, it was so close. You can't fight. If you can't fight 10 people, then you're not Batman. Like that's just like a rule. Like, check the box. Like, he should be able to fight 10 people at least.
Well, I think that's the what they did at the end, the third act. It almost felt like there was like a whole nother separate movie when it got to the third act. It's like you felt like it, and then I guess, well, maybe for me is because I made the mistake of going to a place where you got table service and you could order a meal and drinks, and I had too many drinks. So
that's awesome, though.
So when I got to the third act, I was ready to bust. So I was like, oh, there's a whole other movie after they did this thing, and then that's where we got to see Batman do more of his hand-to-hand combat type stuff. And he did take on a lot of guys. But if you think about it, they had like shotguns and rifles and pistols. So I have to say he did pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like...
Well, that's true. You know, that actually brings me to another point. Is that, remember when that hallway, we got to see it in the trailer. He walks in, he gets shot point blank range by rifles.
But
and
it
then
was
shotgun, he gets shot and he's done. Yeah, right?
Well,
but that wasn't what bothered me. It was the fact that there's an animation that came from, I want to say it was between 2 and 3 of the Nolan stuff that came out with these animation shorts, Batman and little mini shorts that came out.
They were anime. Was it anime style?
Yeah, it was like anime style.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And one of them, they addressed the idea that Batman doesn't kill. So like he's working with Alfred and he has this like. He creates like a force field around his suit, and like one of the bad guys like shoots at him and it ricochets and either shoots him or shoots another bad guy and like hits him, and Batman takes him to the hospital bleeding out, and then he immediately gets rid of the defensive mechanism, the shield, and he says, I'm willing to risk my own life, but it has to be mine. That's it. Like that was an incredibly powerful scene for me. And then for him to just walk into that, and then like he's just moving these guns around as they're like flying all over the place, but bullets are flying all over the place. They would shoot somebody, and it was just like, it was crazy. And I'm like, come on, man, like he would never do that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think maybe it's the heat of the moment. Type
so,
thing.
But it goes back to like some people just think that Batman can be interpreted by every single person, and I think that's true, but you got to keep some core elements in there or you break that character. And for Vic and you, it seems like it's the hope concept. I doesn't really bother me too much, but yeah, I could see that. I could see that being a problem.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with Vic on that. He needs to. It's portraying Batman differently in terms of just fear. I mean, I guess there is going to be a hope aspect to it. I just don't think that was. It's always that's always been his aspiration as Batman. It's like, I mean, he takes on the Bat persona because the Bat instills a primal fear. At least for him, it was a primal fear, and then he wanted to like harness his fear and impart that fear on his
cowardly lot. That is all criminals.
Yeah. Hey, let's move the conversation though. Let's talk about how it was. They integrated more detective elements, the riddles. It did feel like a 7 movie with Batman in it. The riddles weren't like super difficult, but I liked how they had ciphers and it explained how Alfred, he instilled these things in a young Bruce Wayne because he raised him, and that they didn't have to show the whole bodybuilding scene where he's like relentlessly training and like learning riddles and learning how to decipher. They can just say Alfred was this, and he imparted that knowledge to Bruce, and Bruce uses these abilities. And the fact when they're together, then they can have this banter that shows this relationship. So I thought that was a good way of not saying to the audience, over this amount of time, he trained him to do X, Y, and Z, and blah 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 blah. They just showed this interaction between the two of them, and it told the story. It told that parental or that foster parent aspect of Alfred. It talked about his training, all these other things, without having to go into all these fine details. So it was like talking about the origin story without telling everything about the origin story.
That's right. I'm over here eating.
You have your mouth full.
Well, I was making sure that we do have the link.
What did you guys think of?
Go ahead,
what did you guys? Oh, I posted the link. The link's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of this version of the Riddler?
He was like a Kevin Spacey. I'm gonna keep on saying he's going back to 7, and a lot of people said I never saw that movie Zodiac. Did you guys see that movie?
Yeah.
Did you feel it was like Zodiac too?
At all, no? Not at all. I didn't feel he was like from 7 either.
I never felt like it was 7 either. Like it never. Like I heard that going in, and I was like, okay, well, I'll see it. I had seen 7 so many times.
I would have actually preferred if he was more like the villain from 7 because, Riddler's so like he's so overly confident because he's smarter than everybody else. He just thinks he already knows everything going on. I didn't really care for this like overly kind of like maniac, heavy breathing type Riddler too much.
I think the reason why it has echoes of 7 is because in 7 it was the mystery of who the Kevin Spacey character was.
Right.
In this one, they actually had to put a villain out there because they had you had to see him. Oh, and not see who he was, but actually see a person who's supposed to be the villain. Whereas you don't even know it's Kevin Spacey. It's like that Usual Suspects, thing. It's like he gets revealed at the end. But this one, they had to have a person, even if he's in a mask. They had to have this guy that breathes heavy and his little yells. What you guys think of that? He would make these creepy yells where he would get frustrated with people, and it was kind of
like
funny,
the way I looked at it, because when he first was like doing his little yells and things like that, I was like,
he's a child.
This is gonna annoy me real quick. But then you see that video. Spoiler alert! You see a video of him later talking normal. And I was like, oh, he was doing it all for show. Like,
it's part of it.
For show. It's part of his plan. But then they show him with Batman later, and he's still doing it. And I was just like,
Well, I think it is show, but it showed him breaking down too. It's like when he felt like all his plans got destroyed by Batman. He reverted to this petulant child who was acting out and doing these crazy yells and things like that. But then you'd see calm down too. And
I think it was a sign of him. He's a crazy person. Like it was a good way of showing that he was both brilliant and insane at the same time in a way that I don't think that they've done in a serious way before. Like, and they got him in some sort of crazy suit, and it didn't look like the Riddler.
In any way,
it's rough. It's rough because sometimes they reimagine things for movies, and it could eventually change the way the character looks like in the comic book.
I was going to say, do you think he's going to look like Jim Carrey later?
Reeve, they started drawing Superman as Christopher Reeves after he did it. There's animated style characters that are now in the comics. Like, it does adjust, and I can see that, and I can understand why. Like, we've seen the Riddler, full on Riddler, before, and it didn't work. Like, it worked. I loved it as a kid, but if you're talking about grounded, running around like that's probably not going to work. We'll see. And I like the idea of seeing them push it. I think that they opened up the door just enough to get the true Batman comic book page on the screen with this style. Like, it's grounded, but yet has a lot of possibilities for the fantastical. Like, we might see it. So hopefully, maybe now that he's unmasked, maybe he'll put a new costume on. Like, he'll develop his character a little bit more, But one of the things he said that I loved about this movie, that they got the right thing down. I literally screamed. I was like, finally. Like, when Riddler said straight up, "You are Batman. You are not whatever the thing is that you wear as a mask." I was like, finally.
But then, spoiler alert, when that scene in in Arkham, he keeps on going, Bruce Wayne. Bruce. Anyway, I'm like, is this going to be the Iron Man moment? Like at the end of Iron Man where he goes, "I'm Tony Stark, I'm Iron Man." And I thought, well, I hope they're not going to do this with Batman. And it was just that the director did a good job of creating this uncomfortable thing where it's like, does he know him? Does he know that it's Bruce Wayne? Does he know that they're the same person? Is he playing? Is he doing that whole hush thing? I didn't know. It really put me on the edge of my seat thinking, does he know? Yeah. Does he know? Does he know?
That was a good scene.
Yeah, and it was brilliant. It was done really well. And then he does that great yell that Vic loves. He's like, "No!"
That dude better stop saying that. Someone's gonna punch him in the face.
Also, I didn't care for when he was like, he thought Batman knew who he was, and he was like tearing up. I was like,
yeah, it was a weird moment.
Why are you crying, Batman? And then when
emo Batman,
you realize like, oh, he doesn't know, and then he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm good.
He retreats into the shadows. Says, "Oh, you don't know? I'm out of here." No,
right.
I guess let's.
It was a beautiful movie. It was a beautiful movie.
Everything was
shot. Everything was beautiful. Like, it looked straight out of a comic. It was it was gorgeous, but there was just some storytelling aspects of it that I didn't care for.
Guys, explain to me this scene. Okay, I just told you how I thought it was brilliant how they would do certain things to imply things so that you don't have to show everything. It's just done through acting or through a line that you get things. So I was impressed with that until we get to like, I think the middle of the second act where Bruce is trying to put things together, right? Alfred, is in the hospital. He goes back to the mansion, and then he does the scene where he has to take off his shirt and look like he's grunting and pushing this table out of the way. And this next sequence, I just don't get at all. Okay, he has to take all the evidence that he gets. Shows that he starts putting them all
for the show.
He puts it all in the corners. He gets out a can of spray paint and he's like spray painting on the floor so they can do the scene where they can pan out. So, and I was like thinking, all that brilliant narrative things that they do, all these things to like tell things, and then they do this most literal thing to like guide the audience to show that he's a detective, and these scenes are usually done by like the mastermind where they have a big wall where they're putting things together. But no,
exactly.
Bruce has to vandalize his own floor of his house to do this thing. And like,
that's true.
What happened? Where did this come from? It's like it was directed by another person and wrote into the story for no reason. It's like that could have been cut completely.
Yeah, that's one of those where you watch it and you go, "Let's reshoot that. That was dumb."
Well, don't shoot it at all. There was no need for that scene.
Find another way to narrate that. You know what I mean?
Just...
Like
what I thought was funny is so at the end of the movie, like all this stuff falls, right? And then Batman comes down. He's like saving people.
Yep.
Like right at the end, right when the water's in there, and you see these like 3 guys trying to move like this metal thing off these people, and they can't do it. And Batman comes and like shoves it out of the way by himself. I was like, why does he? How can he move that so much easier? But this table in his living room, he's like, ugh.
And then you see his back, and he looks like a toothpick, and I'm like,
oh, I wish my back looked like that.
Oh,
you know, I don't have any muscle.
Batman.
Okay, you're right, Vic. That's a good thing, and I'm going to say that to explain that, which could be a gateway to Bane, which I hope they don't do Bane because they've already done Bane. Because to me, it was when he gets shot, and I don't get how getting an adrenaline, because that's what I thought. I thought it was a shot of adrenaline that he shoots into himself, and then he also becomes this. Well, people were speculating that that's not adrenaline, like it's some form of
venom.
Yes, it's some form of.
It was green,
right? And so, I guess if you get shot by a shotgun, you just need to have some venom or some adrenaline, and you can become super powered. So maybe it was still a lingering effect in him, and that's why he can move that pylon or whatever it is from the. I'm not trying to make an excuse for it, but he apparently became like enraged and powerful at the same time.
So On's asking about the Batman piece. So I posted about this. I don't know, what was it, a few days ago. This is going on that auction for what is that group? Maj Parks. She's got an auction thing that she does. I think it's new. This is the one that you talked me into doing.
I forgot what it's called too. It is.
You twisted my arm, so I went ahead and did a painting. So I'll show it to you guys. You guys can see it.
Yeah, it looked great.
Oh yeah, there you go. So this is the painting that's going up on the drawn bid. There you go. She's like, I know. I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, I was looking it up.
Say it.
She was much quicker than me.
So. Yeah, drawn bid. Yeah, so I've been wanting to do the drawn bid for a long time. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. It is. I kind of want to do a set of these. I've still got a few more canvases that need red and black ink all over them. Well, red paint, black ink. There's actually, it's not just red. There's a lot of variation on Batman himself. So he does actually, like, when you can see it, it's actually really nice. I really enjoyed doing it. I just wish I could have done her face a little bit better. No, Tim's asking me if I cosplayed Cable. No, I haven't cosplayed Cable yet. It seems like everybody they really want me to do is be John Cena's new character, which I can never remember his name for some reason.
Peacemaker.
I always want to call him like Justice Dude or freaking Peace Lord or something stupid.
Peace Lord.
It's always never the right one. But yeah, no, I really want to do that. And yeah, so my biggest thing with this one on is that, I was like, you know what? I'll just do one, and then if somebody bids $10 on it, then whatever. I'll take the $10 and ship it. If I end up losing money, it's not a big deal.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about cosplay.
No, we're going all over the place. I'm just reading all these. And yeah, Cable. I think I'd like to do Cable. I'm trying to get back in shape. Right now, I'm really working on like thinning down. I'm working on my abs. I have like a tire right now, and
if you have a tire. I got a keg. I have a keg. You got a 6-pack. I got a keg around my waist. We were joking around about COVID body. That's what I got.
Yeah.
COVID body.
But yeah, there was like talking about that. I'd love to have seen that not happen in the movie. Somebody should have checked that. And then there's some other ones that I was like, I said in the theater, I said, no shit, Sherlock, because they were like, I liked how Batman would like slowly turn to something and say or not say anything, and very expression. It was very beautiful. Like it was a very Batman-esque character that was in year 2. Like I totally believed a lot of that stuff. I don't like that he was stuck so much in with the cops. Batman wouldn't trust the cops. No way, no how. You know, you trust one cop, that's it. Like anything more than Gordon wouldn't have happened. Like, no, I don't. No.
Well, he didn't really trust them. He did.
Yeah, he was in there, and like he would just walk in with Gordon. Gordon's like Gordon in like a normal Batman, he would have been like, "Hey, let's go check out the crime scene." He's like, "I'll be there at like 2 a.m. when no one else is there. If you want to show up, beat me then." You know, like he wouldn't have just like. I don't like him just walking through. It worked, but it didn't work. Like so, but this was the thing that got me. That really was like, what the are they doing? But so remember that maze with the freaking rats? He looks at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big plastic. It's obviously a maze. He looks at it for like 6 seconds. He goes, "It's a maze." And I'm like, well, of course it's a fucking maze. I can see it's a maze like that. Like, why are you like? No, you are an amazing detective. Oh, and this is the people say, "Oh, there's not a lot of comedy in this movie." This movie had the best line I think I've ever seen ever. In any movie. I was dying in the theater when Penguin gets captured by Batman.
I know what you're talking about.
By the way, they just let him go after he like killed people on the freeway. They just let him go. But anyway, I digress. So he's like, "You're El Diablo de whatever it is." I don't even remember what it was.
The Rata.
With wings.
El Rata. And he goes, "It's La Rata."
Yeah, and he's like, "La Rata."
It's like, don't you know?
Don't you know the difference between El and La? One's boy, one's girl. Aren't you supposed to be the world's greatest detectives?
Well, if you're tied into what is it, URL?
Yeah.
But I think that was an example of maybe something that you tend to see the other side of I'm going to use the word wokeness, and here it was talking about pronouns and L versus la.
Yeah, it got in there.
It was just kind of weird. Well, no, it was done in a very funny way, but then it led to the L and la. And then whenever they were talking about a rodent with wings, is like I thought of bat right off the spot, not falcon, not
penguin.
It's like rodent with wings.
For you, you're a bat.
It's like they live in a world where they like dance around every obvious thing until they get to the obvious thing.
There was definitely a few. What's going on, Comic Book Bob?
Yeah, hola.
Thanks for hanging out with us. You can always come in. We've got a open door policy. All we ask is that a camera is on. And we're just talking Batman and we're already at 38 minutes. We have been blowing steam off on this Batman. So let me see here. What else? What else? I know that there was a couple of ones that the Hope thing, the suit was fine.
I wasn't a fan of his flight suit.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to say that this Batman isn't the same Batman that can just, fly between skyscrapers.
I forgot about that. I hated that shit.
Well,
you reminded me of the thing.
Because he doesn't have the Christian Bale tech cape that can form into a glider.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of echoes to like the Nolan Batman, like that scene where, of course, you hated it. It's like he needed Gordon to get out of the police custody, but that scene where he uses his bat repelling gun, whatever, to shoot up, and he goes up through that big stairwell. That looked just like the Nolan Batman, but it's like he's retreating to the rooftop,
right?
And
then he was scared, like Timothy is saying. So Tim said he was scared when he came up on the top, like to use it, and that's again. I hope. I have so much hope for this franchise, because if they look at the fan reaction, or if they were planning this all along, I really hope they are. Or if they look at the fan reaction and are like, this stuff was bad. This is a bad Batman. And the only way to move forward is to have that in the writing. Like, he has to look back and go, I was knocked out 2 times. I couldn't get away from people other than using this dumbass glider who nearly got myself killed. Mm-hmm. You know, I couldn't defend myself against weapons that were projectile weapons, guns, such things like that. Like, he's not prepared enough. Right now, he's a vigilante. He's not a superhero. He's not one of the 3 greatest heroes of all time, right? So hopefully, as Batman, he goes, okay, now it's time I got to go train around the world and get better. If I'm going to be something more than just a vigilante that hates and lives in the shadows and clunks around with my boots. Mm-hmm. Boots have got to be more than just for walking. Like, you got to like jump around and shit. Like, yeah, it definitely, they got to do better with that Batman. But, and you know, the suit, the whole thing, just, it's year 2. Maybe we can get him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm just an optimistic guy that really wants this to work because I think they're going to go with this one for a while.
Oh, they're definitely going to go with it for a while.
All right, I'll see you later on. Says she's popping smoke. I can't bring you up, but yeah. Hey, Miss Rena, thanks for hanging out. We'll set it up where we have a beach day where you come out and you can paint on the beach or whatever. Do your artwork and we'll be able to see the sun in Hawaii. But we'll figure it out. I know we talked about it last time, doing like some sort of like definitely making sure that we are highlighting people, creators, and just getting people on here. So we'll we'll do that at some point. I know. Well, hey, creators are more than just the drawers. You know, you gotta write the stories and develop the ideas and pay people to do the drawing part. What are you working on, Joe, right now? You got your camera out?
Yeah. I was gonna do an Obi-Wan, but I decided since we're going to talk about Batman, I already started loosely. I don't want to show it just yet. I mean, it's too light.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Let's let Vic. Vic's probably got something really good to show.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I just got back from work.
What? Vic always has something good to see.
Yeah, not today. I was just gonna start inking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working on another Batman. I'll do an Obi-Wan for the next freestyle. I don't know, but I really okay. Let's talk about the suit, because when I first saw the suit, I wasn't a fan, and the more I see the suit, I'm liking it more and more. Even that collar, which to me I didn't like at all, and now it
just a bigger neck.
Yeah, well,
a bigger neck.
It just makes sense because I think I had this conversation with Vic earlier. If you want to go back to the Keaton Batman, where he walked around like this. When he had to like look around, he had to like go like this because his cowl was integrated into his cape. And I was telling Vic, I totally hated it when he took off his mask. It's like he had to rip the cowl off. And you could see like tears, and I was like, okay, this was supposed to be protecting his head, but he pulls it off and it's like just rubber. And then they addressed it in the Nolan universe where Christian Bale's first costume had the same kind of cowl that was integrated into his neck. And then when the Dark Knight came out, he said, I need to come up with a new helmet because I can't turn my head. So they come up with a different cowl for him, and that makes sense. And so when they do this, it's tactical Batman. Parts of it do look homemade, but other parts of it look really neat, and I kind of dig it.
Sorry.
I like that he was like a lot of his stuff was like looked homemade. It looked like it was his stuff. Not like in the Nolan one where it's like, just order a bunch of parts. We'll put it together. Nobody will know. They did some of that. I didn't care for that. Like everything Batman had, somebody else made. I didn't care for that. But in this one, you could see that he was putting together his Batmobile. You could see that he didn't have a lot of gadgets like Batman does, but it was still early Batman. So
there's one gadget that I thought was. Okay, he has this homemade element of it where he gets all gritty and he does like it's found things you could just buy from Home Depot and manufacture. But then he had these camera contact lenses What'd you guys think of that?
Yeah, because it goes from like Home Depot to like the most high tech shit you can find. Like, did you steal that shit?
It's such a what's the word, MacGuffin, because they had to use that. They used it for. They had to use it for so many different things. They use it for. Yeah. He doesn't whip out a notepad to like take notes when he's at a crime scene. When you were talking about how Batman walks in and he just observes the scene, well, really, he's observing the scene because he's recording everything.
He's gonna go watch it later.
Because he's gonna watch it on demand. It's like, I'm gonna catch it on YouTube.
There's definitely some issues. There's definitely some issues, and I like that you caught that for sure. That
the other MacGuffin was okay. Catwoman, which we're gonna go deep into that too, because I liked Catwoman for parts of it I liked and parts of it I didn't like, but she throws away those contexts, but somehow she still kept them. It was like, that's how they move. There's another MacGuffin to move the plot along. She didn't throw them away, and that's how she can get in contact with Bruce. And anyway, that was another weak storytelling.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. That's some issues. What do you guys think about the adjustments to some of the characters?
Which character, like Penguin or Gordon?
Yeah, like the Penguin, the style, like we talked a little bit about freaking Riddler being adjusted so much. You think it's weird? These are grounded, like I said before. It's grounded, but yet it feels like it has a possibility of not being stuck in like a Nolan. It has to be this way. Like it's sort of like in the Marvel movies when they were like, you know what? We want to make sure that there's magic, and we got to bring you to outer space, and we're going to find a way to slowly build you to this point. I think that they've left that door open here. It's really going to boil down to what their next villain is, and I'd love to see a Mr. Freeze. Vic, I think they might be able to go that route in the next one. I love that they introduce the next Robin, and if people really go for it, I think that was sort of a test run to see if people even wanted a Robin.
You talking about that kid
at the beginning?
The kid might be a Robin. Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what I thought too.
But this Batman needs to be a lot fucking better before he decides to go start training any kid.
Take approach. That's why I think 10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
So that's the biggest thing. You know, some people pointing out that he's not big enough, and I really hope that we see. I mean, just that alpha Batman. That's the biggest thing. What was it that we talked about the gadgets. He's very low on gadgets. Talked about the Bane juice. Talked about the fact that they brought Joker at the end, which is, we know nobody needs another Joker. Like, it's just don't need another Joker. What was great about the Joker is it's been done perfectly twice and perfectly differently twice. So, we've had two great Jokers, leave it alone. We have so many other rogue galleries that we can go with.
Wait, which two? Which two are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm curious what he's going to say about this one.
Talking about the first Batman movie.
You talking about Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
And then the second with the Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Heath Ledger.
I agree with those.
Ledger. Yeah, they're perfect in their own way, and I'd like to say it's really the same way with Catwoman. I love this Catwoman, and I also love Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, and they're just different. They're just different. They're different enough. What's going on, Jim? They're different enough, but they're dynamic, and you don't have to compare them because they're so drastically different. This one is more plays off of she's from, the Lower East Side. She understands she's both the class polar opposite to Bruce, as well as she's on the other side of that gray area. She's like gray bad, he's gray good, right? So they played off that really well. But the original Catwoman with Michelle Pfeiffer, and I don't want to say original one because there's been Catwomen from the TV shows, but I mean, I don't really like. I respect the fact that they've done some great things with that Catwoman, but anything from those TV shows, I don't really count as anything other than damaged goods for Batman, because they had to completely reinvent Batman just to get away from that shit. That campy comedy stuff. And then the original, the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, she was just nuts. Like she was pretty crazy.
But those versions of Batman, they wanted to make like all his villains nuts. Like look at the way they did Two-Face on that one. Like he's all screaming, laughing, like trying to be like another version of a Joker.
Yeah, I think that's true. Maybe a little bit. But that was also by the time they got the Two-Face on those original ones, they were trying to make it kid friendly. So it was a really kind of a weird tone that they had with that third movie.
Yeah.
It was still dark in the second one. The second one's still my favorite. I don't know what my favorite Batman movie is. I think I like a little bit of every single one, little elements here and there. I'd probably say the second one is my favorite one overall because it just has a whole tone is right.
I heard something that confused.
I hate like the first 15 minutes of it. The first 15 minutes
something
is really terrible.
That confused me. So the cops chase him, right? And they chase him out of the police precinct. And then later on, he sneaks back in, and that one police officer is like, "Oh man, like what are you doing here?" And then like kind of like just stands there and like watches him, doesn't call for backup, saying like Batman's here or whatever. None of that. Just kind of like lets Batman do whatever he wants after they just like chased him out of the police station because he punched Gordon.
And that was the guy that was the most skeptical too.
Yeah,
I think his name was Martinez or something like that. And he was the one.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, all of a sudden he has this respect for him. I was just putting on that face in front of everybody else, but really I want to be your buddy because it's the two of us.
Well, the guy ran away from him. Like, if you want to have the Batman that can just look at somebody and have him shut up, he can't be a Batman that runs away from everybody. Like the cop would be like, "No, I told you not to touch it. I'll go call my buddies over here, and you'll go run away like a little biatch again." Like,
no, he didn't run away. He just sort of looked at him and then just did his own thing.
I know that's the thing.
No, he meant the police precinct.
Oh, the police precinct. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were about the end.
He ran away. Earlier, he ran away because he couldn't handle it. So you can't have both things. I understand that they want to have a brooding, powerful, menacing, impactful Batman, but at the same time, you can't have him be knocked out twice and taken into police custody and still have a mask on. Like the fact that he still has a mask on at that point, I was like, they would have taken it off. He's a vigilante. They don't give a shit. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't earned that title of Batman for me yet. So that's my only real big thing. I think I've gone over everything other than the music. Man, I remember listening to that and going, "This is what great music is." It's like when you can make music tie in with that character and that. Like if I hear that, I immediately boom. That's the Batman.
He has a theme.
That's what not tied in with or sounds like any other Batman sound I've ever heard before. I was just like, man, that's really, really good. So I was really blown away by that too. But yeah, Oscar buzz, all that shit, like get out of here with that. Like it's a good Batman movie. Let's not overinflate it. Everyone needs to calm down. It's a good DC film. It's not good enough to be a Batman movie yet, but I saw 3 Christopher Nolan movies and I'm ready for a real Batman on screen. The last Batman we had was a big ass dude that killed people. Like that's not a Batman for me. So hopefully they can find
that was probably the pinnacle of Ben Affleck's version. That scene where he goes to rescue Martha. I love that scene. That was probably that's the Batman that criminals fear because he's gonna break you.
Like, he's gonna fear because he's gonna kill you.
I guess, but that was fear. And he was getting shot, and when he got shot, you'd see his head go like this, and he was bulletproof, it was Kevlar, but he still could get stabbed, he could still get shot at, and you would see him recoil. It wasn't like in this Pattinson Batman where it was done artistically, where he's walking down the hall and you just see the flashes of light, but it's like he's in his Home Depot tactical uniform. It's like he still can, he's in bulletproof. He becomes Superman.
Until it's a shotgun.
Until it's a shotgun. That's his weakness.
Yeah.
He's just like he didn't get shot in the face.
Well, I think that's what was going to happen. The shotgun was pointed at his face.
I remember thinking about that when he was walking down the dark alleyway, and he was like fighting them all, and they're shooting at him. I'm like,
go for the headshot.
Dude, they could have shot you in the face at any time.
Like,
there's a reason why Batman, the year one Batman was really great. Like, the thing is, they need to read some of the classic ones. Year one Batman's a good one, where it's like he goes and he fights, he does well, he does everything right, but he gets his ass whooped a little bit. And then he realizes, he's like, I got to do something different. And that's when he does all the Batman stuff. By the time he put on the Batman suit, he wouldn't just walk down a dark alleyway and allow 6 guys with freaking automatic rifles to just point a gun and start firing. Like, come on, man. So anyway, it's so funny that the entire movie, I could have just been like, come on, man. But I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy it because it was just so well done. It was just some bad decisions that maybe they can improve on. Anyway, let me tell us what you think about this movie, and make sure you subscribe. Yeah, so I mean, well, these guys are freaking drawing. I'm gonna sit here and
I'm listening.
I'm just trying to talk to everyone out there, all you guys out there. What would you like to see us talk about in the future? What would you guys like to do? You know, this is freestyle, so you guys should be commenting and tell us what we should be doing. I had one guy, I was on somebody's program. I was watching somebody's show the other day. And I was like, you know what? We're stuck on YouTube. We can't seem to get our numbers up. I made a comment about it because they were talking about numbers and raising. This guy was like, you know, you need to not be a bore. And you need to be entertaining and a character.
A character?
And this was the thing. He was like down here. Saying it. And I was just like, I wanted to be like, you know what? But I said, fine. It's like, that must be what it is. Don't be boring. Don't be a liar. Don't be fake, is basically what he said. And I was like, man, if only I had thought about all of those things. Don't be a liar. Don't be a fake. Don't be boring. Measly biscuits. It's a lot. I can't even get him to frame of my camera. I just wanted to
well, that was his character. His character was to be out of frame.
It's freaking annoying. I was like, I'm asking a genuine question here, and you basically just said the only reason we're not growing is because we must be boring, a liar, and not entertaining in any way.
So this guy has crazy good numbers? Like he has...
I don't know. I didn't look into him. I was just really annoyed at the time. I was like mixed feelings because I had just gotten my phone fixed finally and got it up and running. And I'm seeing on my phone this show, commented on it. So I was ecstatic about that. But I was like, what the frick? All right, Larry. Hey, word up, G. What's going on? Niobe Comics. You better get on here, man. You got to get on here and talk a little bit. We're basically about ready to finish up talking about Batman. We basically went down every corridor, every nook and cranny, talked about every single thing. We didn't talk about the water, but let's just not talk about that. Everyone's talking about that.
The water?
The symbolism of the water.
Oh, it's very obvious.
So we need to discuss and draw the Wonder Twins movie. What's it? Oh, is that the one that's coming out now? I think I saw a commercial for it.
I don't know. I've never.
No. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Sorry. Larry said he's dropping a like, saying hi.
I didn't know anything about the Super Friends movie. What is that?
No, it's the Wonder Twins. Wonder Twins. The Super Friends is the one with the Rock is the Batman dog or something like that.
Oh, it's Super Pets.
Super Pets.
Yeah.
Should call it Super Friends if they had any respect. They were called Super Friends, right? The dogs?
Oh, she says it's coming to HBO Max. Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Wonder Twins.
I didn't know about it either. Is it going to be an animated? Is it going to be an animated movie or it's going to be live action? What is?
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know.
Acquiring minds.
Is it going to be live action or animated? Do you know? You can answer that question for us.
Yeah, let us all know. We want to know.
Whispering Joe.
Live action. She says live action. live action.
Okay, let's another thing about Batman. What do you guys think of the big reveal about that bat emblem on his chest?
I never got that as a reveal. It's just
it wasn't a reveal.
To cut something. I don't remember anymore.
I like the internet rumor at the beginning that it was supposed to be forged from the gun that shot his parents. That would have been cooler, except now they just said it's a knife. It's a bat knife.
Again, it's like a vigilante that got his shit from Home Depot. He's Home Depot Batman.
I'm actually glad it wasn't a gun because it looked nothing like a gun. It looked like
it could have been forged. Like he took because it's a very unorthodox looking knife. You know, it doesn't even look like it could be thrown or cut anything. That's why I would have liked.
What if somebody takes it off of his chest and just cuts him with it?
They don't know that it's a knife. it's like you disarmed me, Batman. Oh, I grabbed the chest and I stab you, and that's the end.
That's the end. End of the movie. How Batman should have.
Because when he removes it, that's like the one vulnerable spot on his entire Home Depot, bat uniform.
Right.
Like...
I mean, it's even smaller. So, like, that's supposed to be like the extra Kevlar. Like, that's like we already know. Like, anyone who knows Batman, like Batman's symbol is a way of making people shoot at it. So he's got like heavier armor there. Yeah. So if he's got a thing that comes out, guess what? That's even weaker armor now. Like, so it's like.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no.
I would have liked if it had a deeper meaning, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So
there was one of God, I had it. There's another thing I really did enjoy, but I can't remember what it is now. Oh right, yeah. So talking about guns. When he was coming in and he had the gun in his hand and he was like, "No guns." He's like, "Dude, that's your thing." Like
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, I forget the actor's name, but he killed it.
He's the new Gordon to me.
Yeah, he absolutely was perfect as Gordon. I didn't like what's his face who's in the last one. He's still J. Jonah Jameson. Like, you can't make him into any other character for me.
J. Jonah Jameson. Oh,
yeah, the actor that played Gordon in the last movie, the Justice League movie.
Oh, in the Justice League movie. I thought you were talking about the Nolan universe, and I was like,
no.
That guy is great. I forgot what his name is, the actor.
Oh yeah, he's been in everything.
Jeremy Lyons? No, Jeremy Lyons was Alfred.
Yeah, it was Gary Oldman. There you
go.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to? All right. So, any other questions on Batman? Anybody want to bring anything up in the chat? We'll discuss it, but I think we've exhausted.
If anybody wants to come on, we posted the link. If anybody's free, wants to come on, join us, talk about Batman, talk about Obi-Wan, anything. Just come on.
Are you guys able to show your stuff at all at this point, or because?
I could show mine later, but because I don't really have my scribbles. Let me solo.
Oh, you're inking your undead stuff.
Yeah,
your Walking Dead stuff.
Really, it's out of focus.
Let me see if I could do this. So much on that thing. Your traditional work is amazing.
Oh no, I can't do it. I'll show it in a second.
Let's see if I can get am I frozen or are you frozen? Oh no. You're frozen for a short time. Yeah, your pencils on that were absolutely insane.
Let me see if I can bring my other camera up here.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming up. To be able to highlight Vic's stuff. Like, I mean, all your stuff that you've been doing for the indie characters have been just blowing it out of the park every single time.
Thanks, man. I've been enjoying it. Those have been fun to do, because I've never really drawn them before, and I got a little tired of drawing all the main ones over and over again. So to do something new like that, it's been fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's with you and Gerald. Like, a part of me is. I know we've talked about it before about doing a whole sort of thing that's just like the Let It Out, sketchbook from Gerald and some other creators. Like, it's so many good stuff out there, so many good characters. It's been a lot of fun to see people like interpret them and stuff. And I mean, we've got other things coming up, but that's an easy one for sure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I guess we'll see a Batman from Gerald. Is that what you're working on?
I am, and I guess maybe at the end of the show I can show it to everybody. But right now it's just a bunch of, well, not that it's a surprise. Everything's a scribble.
Yeah.
So, but we can move to. Well, we talked about Catwoman. We talked about Penguin.
Oops. What is that? Why did I do that? That's weird. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I think Timothy mentioned something about Penguin. I liked how Colin Farrell. I didn't even know that was Colin Farrell under all that prosthetic mask and stuff. But it was neat to show that they didn't have to do the Danny DeVito Penguin style. So he had some unique facial features, and they made him kind of mobster, looking and stuff like that. So it was neat to show Penguin, but he doesn't have to be like the Penguin with an umbrella and all that other stuff. So I think maybe if they do, they could do a Dr. Freeze maybe, but just do him in a more realistic way. He doesn't have
Dr.
to have
Freeze?
Oh, Mr. Freeze. Is it Doctor?
Did we bring Mr. Freeze's dad first? He was like Doc.
Oh, maybe is it Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze?
It's Mr. Freeze, but you said Dr.
Oh, I did.
I think you said Dr. Freeze.
Okay, my bad. Mr. Freeze, yeah.
Dr. Freeze.
So it would be nice to see him. I think that's more of a possibility than a Clayface.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You know what? There's actually a lot of possibilities. The animated show, like the one they had for a while, they did a lot of the villains' origin stories
in a more
that would adapt to this type of world.
I agree.
It's like they were really believable the way they did things. So, it's not like the way they made Mr. Freeze in the other one. Like, in the old movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was like, why is like Mr. Freeze standing on like that tiny little ledge? Like, he's just gonna fall off no matter what. Like, you would think somebody that smart would build a bigger walkway. Like, I guess there's no OSHA in Gotham. Like, hey, you're gonna need to build that bridge a little bit bigger. You're gonna fall in. And
well,
you got enough supervillains in this city.
There's no OSHA in Star Wars movies either.
Yeah, right.
Like there's too many ventilation shafts that lead to the Death Star core. you could conveniently throw down the Emperor into and stuff like that.
You guys made me think about freaking Elsa talking about all that stuff. Elsa versus Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. That would be awesome.
Oh, I thought that was a thing.
That should be a total thing. I think we should do a
Elsa,
drawing battle. Elsa versus Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and have them have a sing-off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be cool. I would dig that a lot. That would be fun. Anyway. I think we should switch topics. I think we've buried the Batman. Batman is now dead. Buried.
He's done.
We're gonna do a Superman. The Bat's dead.
Gerald kind of led us into it. Star Wars. Obi-Wan. Did you guys see the trailer?
Yeah, let's do the trailer and have a live action response. All right, guys. Star Wars. You
gonna bring it up, Gerald, or you want me to do it?
It's up to you. I have it as a tab in Chrome, but
I downloaded it, so that's
okay. Whatever. I think both of us can do it. If it doesn't work on your end, I'll do it on my end.
Yeah, let's see. We could bring it up here.
Let's maximize this thing.
Let's do this. Yeah. Oh,
perfect.
Oh, the feels.
The fight is done.
I remember that scene.
We lost.
By the way.
Yeah, did you see that? Obi-Wan was a sushi chef on Tatooine. He was cutting up things.
Makes sense. That's the lightsaber.
Stay hidden.
Now this scene was a little creepy.
We'll be watching it.
The key
we get to see
to hunting Jedi.
I love that.
Is patience.
I love it. I don't like the character.
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
What are those guys called again? I didn't talk about them. They're like Sith hunters. I can't remember what they're called now.
Inquisitor.
Yeah. Perfect. You think they aged him a little bit? I don't think that's what he looks like. I think they aged him.
That was so good.
So good. Yeah. Here we go. How you guys doing? It's just all me. All right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah. Inquisitors, right? So, God, the fact that I even brought them in, like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that shows the unification of the animation and the live action thing. So just crossing it over.
It looks a little bit wonky though. Like they're.
Well, I thought the Grand Inquisitor, which is the one they showed there, he looked a little plump. In the in Rebels, he was this really wry, thin-looking guy, and that was kind of his.
No, I thought he was the larger one. Oh no!
No, the one with the spinning lightsaber. Yeah, he was supposed to be this. In the Rebels series, he was like really thin, and it added to his
menacingness.
Yes,
because there was a female Inquisitor and
there was a whole
a larger, bulkier.
Yeah,
Inquisitor.
I think there were like a team. Yeah, because they're like known as like the seventh brother or the sixth sister or whatever. They had numbers.
That's cool. I wasn't a huge fan of Rebels, but when they when Rebels got good, they got really good.
Yeah, it was a big build up before it got better.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved all the characters. Vic, I don't know if you're tracking, but you were definitely frozen, brother.
Oh, no.
Oh, you just stopped moving. Well, you're good now.
I think it was because he was playing the video too, and the video slowed down his connection.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I love that. You know, when they showed the city, right before the sushi, I can't say it.
The
sushi chef.
Yeah, where he was like cutting up.
Right before that, they show like the alleyway. You can see sort of that structure, and that really worried me that they were going to be doing the same thing that they did in Boba Fett's show, which was just sort of like, here's a set piece, and we'll spend most of our time there. And I was like, oh crap, this is a bad omen. But we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. Obi-Wan looks perfect. I like seeing the Inquisitors. If it's anything, if they take the lead from following what they're doing with the Mandalorian and not what they did with Obi-Wan, or not what they did with freaking Boba Fett, then I think it'll be fine. What's really cool about these shows is that at first I didn't like them, the idea that there was going to be like a little show here and a little show there, but they're all interconnected, which could be a smart way of building a universe within these sort of smaller shows. So it's smart, my opinion. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Now, I don't know as much about the Star Wars universe as everybody else. Like I didn't watch Rebels. I didn't watch was it Clone Wars? Any of those?
Oh man, you gotta
so
watch
a lot of these characters I don't know, but like seeing like Obi-Wan back, who, you know, even in the prequels that were horrible, was still like a great character.
Yeah, he was.
I'm excited to see him.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know. I mean, that's probably what they're probably, the fact that the three of us are here are probably they're people they're trying to sell to make money. Like, okay, the person who saw the prequels and saw the movies, but they're not like, oh, I'm gonna watch Clone Wars, some cartoon show. Yeah. You know, that's fine. And then I'm the guy that's been reading the books for 30 years, so I'm the skeptical, you know, hey, that scar was on the left ear, not on the right ear, you know, like whatever. You know.
Are you that way? I never thought of you that way.
No. and then the guys that watch the Rebels and all that sort of stuff. So I just love that they're like, you know what, we're gonna unify everything. We know that Clone Wars worked, and Vic, honestly, man, like if you haven't any love at all for Star Wars, and you can stomach losing about 3 weeks of your life at any point, you got to sit down and watch Clone Wars. It is so good, and it redefines the prequels, the character growth, the development. Like it develops Darth Vader into a character that actually means something versus a guy that was like, I can't live without her. Let me kill the whole universe to save my woman. Oh, she died.
That was like a dead-on impression, accent and everything. That was good.
I thought I heard Hayden Christensen. I was like totally weirded out. I was like, whoa. I hate sand. It gets into everything.
It gets everything. It makes everything so.
It's so coarse.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys think about him coming back though for Darth Vader?
Well, he's coming back as Darth Vader, so you're not really going to see his face, I think, unless he's in a bacta tank, or they're going to do some reminiscing scenes where
I'll go into what I was saying earlier about how the show.
Did you guys?
The shows interconnect, and it seems like they're developing series. If it's about Obi-Wan and Darth Vader's only there for like, let's say,
flashbacks,
a scene or whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck yeah, Darth Vader!" And that's cool. But if they do like young Darth Vader show right after an Obi-Wan show, that could be really cool. That'd be really cool.
I don't know if you guys saw the when they did like the sneak peeks, like the Disney Plus Day or whatever, and they released all the footage. Mm-hmm. They showed Hayden Christensen training with a lightsaber. They were practicing fight scenes, and Ewan McGregor even said like he can't wait to go back at it with Hayden. Mm-hmm. So he already hinted that there's going to be some kind of fight.
Yeah, that would be a total letdown if there wasn't that kind of scene, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I don't know. For me, I don't want to see a fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan at all, because they've already had their fight, and when they fight again, we've seen that fight.
Well,
so what I would rather see is Darth Vader fighting his old apprentice in live action. That's what I'd like to see.
Darth Vader fighting his old apprentice?
Mm-hmm.
Like Star Killer? What are you talking about?
No. No. Entered your mind. I love it. Who would he be fighting? We've already seen it. Come on, guys. Who in the comments knows who I'm talking about? She used to have a backpack. We all hated her at first, and now we all love her.
Oh, you're talking about not Darth Vader's apprentice. You're talking about Anakin's apprentice.
What in the same?
No, they're not. They're not.
When they fight, okay, all right, fine.
They're totally
Anakin
different.
Skywalker's apprentice.
Yeah.
Fighting.
I don't think they're okay. This is why I think they're not going
to.
They're going to show Darth Vader, but they're going to show Darth Vader like interacting with the Inquisitors, because the Inquisitors are actually under his command.
Yes.
So I can see that part of it.
Yes.
And what would diminish the whole thing, that the whole fight in New Hope, was you hear, what is it, Vader say to Obi-Wan? He goes, when I last met you, I was the pupil. Now I am the master. So it's sort of like, that's why when they were doing this Obi-Wan series, I was like, how are they going to show them fighting? Because they've supposedly not seen each other since Mustafar.
Exactly.
So I think if they're going to if there's going to be like a battle between him and Obi-Wan, there needs to be, I don't know, they have to figure out how they can retcon that whole conversation. Because I don't. And then talking about Ahsoka, I don't know how they're going to handle that either, because they did that in Rebels, which was done really well. I have to say that Ahsoka, the way she was done in the Clone Wars, the way she was done in Rebels, she was probably the best lightsaber duelist that's been depicted on screen. I mean, she was doing some crazy things. I mean, she was throwing her lightsaber. She was deflecting like there'd be like 10 or 15 clone troopers that are all shooting at her, and she's deflecting everything. She's like jumping from starships, as they're crashing, and she's doing some crazy stuff. You don't see any of the other Jedi do stuff like that. So Ahsoka, at least on screen, she's like the best Jedi that's been shown on any of the canon shows.
She is no Jedi. Yes. Yeah. But they're going in that route. There's going to be a Ahsoka show.
Yes.
Later on after Darth Vader during the Mandoverse, right? So I would love to see, and I think that she could still play it. I don't know. Could she play that character? Mandalorian, Luke. She'd basically be playing a character about 10 years younger, maybe?
Yeah, she'd have to be younger.
Maybe about 10 years?
Mm-hmm. So they'd have to do it.
She could pull that off, whatever. Same actress.
Well, they do the camera tricks to make people younger. So
yeah, I mean, they could do Luke Skywalker. You could do, that for me, if they're going to do the Exquisitors, then
the Exquisitors, the Inquisitors.
And the Inquisitors, sorry,
yes.
not Exquisitors. They're very
very
exquisite.
They're very fine.
They're very fine ladies and gentlemen.
They're very dainty.
The what is that movie franchise that's based on the comic? It's like the British. What is it? It's like the British Tailors or whatever the hell they're called.
The British Tailors? I don't know.
Where they go? Like
the Kingsmen.
The Kingsmen, yeah.
Vic, I'm glad you caught that.
He's got to translate my brain.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Kingsmen. Okay, what about the Kingsmen?
Year one? Like, is that year? YEAR? Is this?
I don't know what that was.
I think
Sebastian.
Sebastian. What in the world are you saying, brother? Why Echo Run?
You're.
Well, are you growling? What is that? I don't know, brother. All right. So anyway, yeah. So I'd like maybe for them to expand on some of the things that happened outside of Rebels, and then see maybe where Obi-Wan may have been in on that, like where he could have done something. Maybe he was named. Maybe he went over after. Maybe he went by a code name.
Sebastian said it's a Bronx thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta look it up now.
Well, come on and explain it.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, so I like Rebels. Maybe if they did something like and expanded on, where he says, "Oh, no one's called me Obi-Wan Kenobi for a long time." He could go by a code name.
He had an alias.
I thought it was cool too that they brought back the actors. So like you see like Uncle, what's his name? Uncle Owen.
Yeah,
Uncle Owen is back, and I want to say is
playing by the same actor from just like the little piece at the end. I thought that was really cool, and they brought back the same actress that played the aunt as well. They didn't show her, but
for sure, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
And it made sense because they're going to be older than their last appearance, so the age factor worked out okay.
Should they get a really bad actor again for a young Skywalker? I am a boy. And I like books.
Well, did you notice he's when Obi-Wan is doing his creepy, like looking at the
I don't know why you thought that was creepy. That's his one job. He has one job, and that's to watch the show.
But
he's doing his one job.
It looked a little weird to me.
And he's about ready to stop doing his job. Like he's literally that everybody for the last 30 years has understood that Obi-Wan Kenobi fought the Sith and then sat on a planet for like 20 years and didn't do anything. And now we're supposed to believe that all that's gone and he's gone off and done whatever. For me, nobody agrees with me on this. I'm in the minority, fine. But I don't care about what Obi-Wan did for those 20 years. He shouldn't have done anything.
Now
What's
you know.
going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up, Sebastian?
We'll have Sebastian come on here and have some discussion on this, man.
I just come in to share some peace, say what's up. Let's see dudes.
We're gonna get a little rowdy about the Star Wars thing because I'm I'm just gonna say my thing, and then I'll be quiet on Star Wars. But they should
put you in the corner, Joe.
Nobody should freaking give a crap about Star Wars in the time period between, Luke Skywalker being born and leaving at about 16, 17 years old. If anyone's giving a shit about that at all, they should be giving a shit about what Darth Vader's doing. Darth Vader is whooping ass, taking names, killing
he's
Jedi.
killing Jedi. Yeah.
He's terrible. He's doing, but it's really cool shit. I don't want to see what Obi-Wan's doing. You know what I want to see? I want to see Obi-Wan back in the day when he was with
Qui-Gon.
When he was with Qui-Gon, when he was smashing, when he wasn't supposed to because he was a Jedi Knight. Because he broke some rules.
When he was macking on ladies and
not ladies. He fell in love with the queen.
He did later on. That was.
And I want to know if they had a daughter or not, and if that daughter is in
Mandalore.
Yeah, if she's like.
Now, was it said? Is it something I missed? Did they say that he never left? Like he just stayed watching Luke the whole time?
No, they didn't say it. So that's. I mean, if they're going to do a whole movie and it's all going to be on Tatooine, it's going to be really boring.
So in the books and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone's read the books, but in the books and in anything that I've read after the movies, he never left. He never left until Luke was ready to leave. He was always there. He didn't know who Darth Vader was. Like he saw him on like a holonet or whatever it was, like a news show. But yeah, never actually put the dots together. I don't know if he actually put it together or not. I never read anything that he did. But he must have found out at some point.
He might touch up on it on the show. They might.
Yeah.
No, he
like
does
I said,
know.
I'm growing. It's growing on me. These little mini shows are growing on me. I don't think they're doing the right thing with Obi-Wan, but
he knew because there's that line that they say that the Emperor has a new apprentice, and he calls him Darth Vader.
I was waiting for you to say the Emperor has a new groove.
It's Darth Vader.
He has a new groove. Yeah.
No, because I know they've said like for the show that they're going to be leaving Tatooine, but
they have to.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was going to be like Obi-Wan leaving or anything like that. Because I know like Joe was saying, people have said he never left the planet. He just stayed watching Luke.
Oh.
Well, what we know is that they're not bound to any old legacy storylines. So
I think with the fact that you got Favreau involved, he's more of a fan, and they're more fans of Star Wars than because again, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy was a fan, and she wanted to do. They looking at the new sequel trilogy. The first movie we were talking about, they played it safe. It's that second movie that completely ruined everything because they allowed best director Rian Johnson to do what he wanted to do, and he completely muffed it up. And they were trying to, and I believe like the last few movies, they were trying to mop up what he did.
Yeah,
and it just made things worse.
Yeah, I'd love to see directors come in and tell their own stories in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
but ever since they started doing books and movies and everything, right? They would have people come in, and if it was the main storyline, let's say the Skywalker family, like you had to follow
respected
rules. You had to get your scripts approved and all these sort of things. I would have loved to have seen Rian Johnson do a film. Did he have to do the main Skywalker canon? No, I don't think so. Like he just didn't need to. And I've seen his movies before, and I've loved it. Like the one where he had the actor from Captain America, like that one's actually really
Knives
really
Out.
good. I want to call it Clue, but it's definitely not Clue.
Oh, he did Knives Out. That's a good movie. I didn't know Knives Out. I like that movie.
But he should never have messed with that. They messed it up after that. It was a big, like, you could tell that they're just rolling the dice and pulling something out of a hat. Like, hey, we can bring back, the original villain, that old guy that shoots like lightning or something out of his eyes. Yeah, let's do that one.
Am I mistaken, or is that the one where Princess Leia flies in it?
Yeah. Yes, Mary Poppins.
Oh, okay.
It's
Mary
really
Poppins.
bad. It's really bad. It's too bad. I think all of the fans, like, we were so angry because we were like, we're not saying that you ruined our childhood. What we're saying is,
I'm saying it.
So incompetent, you shouldn't have touched this great story that now you've fucked up so much. So now this is where we're at. We got Dave and John, and we're
Well,
like, you know, these guys know Star Wars.
We make the joke that Mando's back is hurting because he's pretty much carrying the franchise.
He's carrying Disney.
I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with the Book of Boba. I saw what they were trying to do, and I saw where they messed up. It's not perfect, but it's still better to me than the trilogy sequel.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know a lot of people how they were upset about Boba, but I got what they were trying to do. I feel like there are certain things I would have changed, like the past sequences when they were starting, because I did like what they did with the Sand People. I would have changed how they did the past sequences, where I would have went back to look at a more younger Boba and what he was doing, so that we can also explain maybe those connections with Cad Bane to people who don't know who Cad Bane is, who've missed the show. And I think that would have worked better for past sequences, and it kind of shows you that he's trying to change to be this leader. And I feel like they dropped the ball a lot with it. Because there are elements that work and a lot of elements that really didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can get kind of an issue with it just being Disneyified. You know, they're like, hey, this villain, we need him to be a hero. We need him to be able to kind of be in a drug circuit, but like, how do we show that? How do we get the tone right? It's tough. Like, I enjoyed it.
I think it's more now because I feel Disney in some ways, because it's also to whoever's in charge of Disney. Because like the new guy, I don't really follow that much. I feel like Disney, with what they're doing, is kind of changing it to, because they have to be a streaming service to compete. Because I work in the cable industry, and streaming services it's going to be about who has the best original content right now.
Yeah.
I know overseas, Disney's has their service within Disney Plus called Stars. So it's like they're more like adult-oriented content, and I feel like they're probably going to try to shift that with the introduction now of the Netflix shows that they're going to now continue, and they're putting on there. And all that you have to do is just, flip the parental controls. So we're going to see how they experiment with that.
Yeah. But with Boba Fett, just to rewind just a half a sec, but Boba Fett, for me, I always thought that he was always a letdown since the prequels, because that changed his entire dynamic of who he was. And so, like in the books, he's more like a Clint Eastwood character. Like, he does his own thing, and if confronted with having to do good, he usually does good. But he never seeks it out, and he never really changes all that much. So it was kind of an interesting thing where he kind of came back and did all that. So to know more about Boba Fett I can see how it could be a letdown for a lot of people, but for me, I'd already been let down by Boba Fett since the prequels, that I just sort of had gotten used to it. So it wasn't a big deal for me. But yeah, I would love to see them doing the Worlds Between Worlds, and this is Vic. This is going to be new information from you, because you haven't seen Rebels and you haven't seen Clone Wars. The World Between Worlds is literally a place where you can go in, and you can go into the past or the future. I think it's only past.
Where you can retcon everything.
Where you can retcon the whole damn thing, because there's at one point where Darth Vader kills Ahsoka, which is his Anakin's old apprentice. Sorry, Gerald. Let me make sure I say this right.
Yes, gotta say it right.
Yeah, man, we can't wait either. We're talking about it right now, man. I'm hoping it's good. That's at least I'm hoping. So I keep hearing rumors. I don't know if they're doing it, but I keep hearing rumors that they're gonna use the World Between Worlds to retcon a couple of items. Hopefully, one of those things is fixing Luke Skywalker before it's too late. Because I gotta have Luke Skywalker do more than become a grumpy old man on his front porch. Like, he cannot do that. Sorry, I just can't.
Get off my planet.
I don't want Jake Skywalker. I want Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of going through it right now. I don't think it was great. I think it seemed like it didn't have a big enough budget. And maybe they made some poor choices on how they went about storytelling. But it wasn't bad. Like, I enjoyed it, especially by the end. You know?
No, it still was an enjoyable show. Like I said, it has its great moments. They're just, you see certain things. I feel like I feel like it's one of those shows too where it just needed probably a few more episodes to help them try, because like there are just moments it felt like they rushed through. Like it had some great action sequences. It had again, it developed the Sand People, and I know that was hard to do because these are people that just wear a mask. You don't. It's hard to do with facial expressions, but it's more body. But like even like in the very end, it felt like they were just decisions that you felt that were rushed. Where it's like the good thing about it though, when Mandalorian comes out, we don't have to wait for him to reunite with Grogu because we already got that to happen in Mandalorian 3.0.
Right, they jumped right into it. Yeah. No, that was smart.
Yeah,
that was smart. That was smart. What do you think about Cad Bane? Do you think that they did him justice in a live action version?
They did and didn't. It's those moments where it's like they killed him off too quick.
He's not dead.
If it happened off screen, then I'll say that. But it happened on screen, I'm like,
no. Go back and watch it. And his chest plate, there's some lights on his chest plate. They're still lit. He's alive.
We'll see. Beeping. We'll see. There's something beeping on his chest at the end.
It's his pacemaker. It's cutting out.
It's still there. It's still there.
I mean, he's been around for a while, man. He's been around since the Clone Wars. He's taken out senators left and right for pizza.
Yeah, I felt that fight was a little anticlimactic though. They should have. We were talking about it too. We would have liked to see Fennec go against Cad Bane because they have a past. And again, I would have introduced flashback sequences of a younger Boba and Cad Bane to kind of explain even more with them.
Almost like they missed an episode that they needed to get in there.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see the show, so I didn't know they had that Cad Bane and
they have a history.
Fennec had a background, so they just kind of like talk. I don't even know if they really talk to each other at all.
They talk a little bit. Quick, talk about,
but you don't know. You don't know there's a background there. Like I didn't know. I ended up watching like a show on Easter eggs, and they talked about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah,
they didn't touch upon that at all.
For us nerds that watched Clone Wars, that actually is the most recent interaction between those characters, like in just the television timeline. Because you see them battling on an early version of the Kaminoans like base or whatever, and they have a rivalry, and the bounty hunters, they all know each other. They all at least know their reputations. So it was just interesting that when they see each other, they don't even say something witty to each other to acknowledge, we saw each other before, and Fennec got the best of that duel. Cad Bane lost whatever bounty he was going to get out of the whole thing. So.
I'm enjoying the broken up shows. Like I said, that they are going down a route where they're interconnected and weaving and telling an overall story, and they'll get better. Hey, by the way, Kent, all of us are down for Moon Knight. I think all of us want to talk about it. Definitely, we are ready to go.
Did you hear what they did with Angel? Did you hear what they allowed Oscar Isaacs to do?
No. What did he do?
So he has a little bit more input on the character. That Feige let him give a little bit more input and work his magic with the character. Apparently, since he's playing 3 characters as Moon Knight, because we all know Moon Knight from the comics, Oscar Isaac is giving each character a different voice to kind of showcase a different character when he's playing it, when he's doing that switch.
It makes sense.
I think you hear it in the trailer, huh?
Because I was like, I hope he doesn't talk like that through the entire series. It makes sense. It makes sense.
He's going to be. It's funny, how original Star Wars, you get people from these great franchises that branch off and do these amazing things. I think he's going to be him and the guy who plays what is it? The Solo kid. I can't remember his name right now.
The Solo kid.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the guy.
The actor who used to be a Marine.
Yeah, but
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I think those two are going to take off and do some amazing things. Regrettably, I loved all of the actors. They all could have been franchise killers. They would have been amazing. but their characters were so insufferable and annoying. It just ruined it for me.
But Oscar Isaacs, he has a great resume. I mean, it sucked that he had to play the Isaac who's Apocalypse. And he was Finpo. There was a missed opportunity with Finpo. And the simple fact too is he played the father in Doom, which he was phenomenal.
He was great.
Yeah. I guess I'm the only one that didn't like Doom. I get it. Everyone loves it, but I was like, it took me 3 tries to get through that damn movie. It's
not for everybody.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you're gonna love or hate.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. It was so slow. I don't know. I love Batman, and it was slow. I don't know. I don't get it. It just didn't work for me. It wasn't part of my DNA.
Batman was ripped out of a graphic novel. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, it was a thievery being done.
It was beautiful.
Okay, good. All right. I didn't read what you were saying properly. What's going on? The son of a saint.
That's Angel.
Angel?
Dude. Yeah, that dude is. He does some beautiful art renders and art. He's turned a lot of celebrities into like heroes. I used to run with Angel at different conventions when we used to call ourselves the Artist Club and everything.
Cool.
Always some really beautiful art that he does and everything. And
for sure.
Lots of love, brother.
All right. All right. Well, I think we are at an hour and 40 minutes. We got an hour and 40 minutes. I think what we should do right now is shout out what we're going to do for the next show. Yeah, the Batman was great. Lots of action. Bad fighting, but it was a lot of action.
What we got in this Batman, which I thought was really great, we got the detective side, the street level detective.
Yeah.
That was
he just got to get better at everything else. And he's got to be better as a detective. He doesn't know the difference between L and law. He can't be that good of a detective. And he looks at a maze and goes, "It's a maze." It's like, of course it's a fucking maze. What are you talking about? Jesus.
This was like a more rookie Batman because they said
Year two.
It was really dope.
Year 2, I have so much hate on this Batman, but at the same time, I'm like, it's year 2. The only thing I walk away and go, I don't like, is that they had the butler train him to fight. They've got to fix that. They've got to fix it. They've got to develop him as a fighter better. But other than that, there's plenty of time to fix it. This is a long franchise. It's going to be great. But he can't fight like this. Like, you can't have a Batman that... No.
Well, Alfred, have you guys seen? I've been recommended to watch Pennywise on HBO Max.
I have not watched
Pennyworth. Pennywise is the clown.
Pennywise, yeah.
Stay away from the clown. Stay away from the clown. Yeah, I gotcha.
No,
I haven't watched it yet, but I was so disappointed. I didn't watch it.
I've heard good things. Sam and George were really plugging that show when I was on the Cast of Craze last week, and they were like, "It's really good. It explains a lot between Alfred and Bruce's father, and it kind of shows you because for many times, for the only time I think they really touched up that Alfred kind of had like a spy background was in Batman the Animated Series. They were like, this really touches up on it, and I feel like with hearing that before going in to see the Batman. And Andy Serkis playing that, like, I trained her. So it kind of made a little bit more sense to me. Like, it would be understandable that maybe Alfred wasn't the butler. He was like the bodyguard at some point.
He was a bodyguard, but also butler. Like, I get that. And I enjoy that. And I put this in the shelf of, I totally get it that he would have taught Bruce Wayne how to fight. But my problem with it is Bruce Wayne has to do more than just be taught by some guy one technique or spy fighting or whatever. Like, it's a part of what Batman is, and there's a lot of time. Like I said, there's a lot of time to fix it. But I need a lot more training to go down for Batman for him to be more than a vigilante. I'm just gonna harp on that until they make another movie. But I enjoyed it. I like it.
Oh, yeah. He got the Arkham show now. It was supposed to be Gotham City Police Department, but now it transitioned to Arkham, and I think they just announced that Penguin's getting the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be called Penguin or something. I thought it was just going to be like a Penguin show.
I don't know. It's going to be Colin Farrell, and I didn't recognize him at all.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to definitely watch the shit out of that. I love having HBO Max, and I love having Disney Plus. I got rid of Netflix. I got to save some, count my pennies somewhere. Pennywise.
Tell me you watched Squid Game before you got rid of it. Please.
No, I'm not watching Squid Game. That's
Jero, you have one job. Vic, you have one job. You guys are to wrangle Joe to get him to watch Squid Game. Let him your Netflix account.
I gotta watch it too. I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna be in Maryland. Actually, yeah, Maryland here pretty soon. So Jero might have to like kidnap me and like tape my eyelids back open, and then make me watch this show.
Mm-hmm. I have to watch it too. So I heard good things about it. And it's on
Netflix has great shows. It's just getting too expensive. I love Red Notice. Like, these are things that I enjoy. Like, it has good stuff. Mm-hmm. All right.
Aside from the geekery, how have you guys been? It's been a minute.
Shoot, it's been a long time, man. Holy crap. I mean, we're all busy. We're all busy, trying to move forward, trying to fix things, make things work. Vic's got spawns coming out.
Spawn. Yep. Is that what you call it?
Created Spawn.
Yeah. There's a demon spawn on the way. Yeah.
He's expecting a kid. I'm translating it for Sebastian. Sebastian's like going, "What's the heck?"
Sebastian's smart. He knows what I'm talking about.
Spawn.
This is more of joking, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in the fire. A lot of things moving around. Working with Golden Fight and some of our own products and projects and. Just you know how it is when you're working with a crew and a team and things get hot and then cold and then everybody's just sort of like getting on the same page and we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm moving here pretty soon, which will be a pretty big move. I'm going to Korea. Yeah. So I'll be moving to Korea.
Just for how many months are you gonna be gone?
For a year.
For a year? I didn't think it was gonna be a year.
Gerald's Gerald. I told you this before.
I didn't think it was a year. I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm going there for a year, man. I'm working there for a year. I'm going back for a year.
Joe's gonna come back as a K-pop fan.
Yeah.
I've already been to Korea once, and I do love singing along to some wonderful K-pop.
No, it's beautiful. No, it's dope that you get to go do that. My buddy Justy, he got to teach in Japan for a year, and it was a great. It was a It was great because he was a kid, lived in Harlem. Was a kid that people looked up. He worked at the Museum of Natural History. He was actually one of the guys that would get the bones that came into the museum and he would clean them before they put it up.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, and when you looked at him, people, he goes, it was funny. When he would go to work, people would look at him, thought he was a janitor. He'd get off at the floor, like, yeah, I'm one of the archaeologists here. So he gave that up, went to go teach in Japan for a year. He said it was life-changing for him. Mm-hmm. After he came back, he went to an apprenticeship on a dig site to go help dig up more fossils that was like in New Mexico and stuff like that. It was like in Mexico, somewhere down.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's the he was Sam Neill in Jurassic Park, right? He found like Velociraptor. Like,
yeah, we gotta have a conversation about that, but not today. Not today. I can go all the way down that rabbit hole. So, how have you been, man?
Yeah, what's
It's been super good, bro. Just working hard on a lot of content projects. It's like, and we were just pushing hard with the podcast, restructuring stuff, and Beyond Studios is kind of on lockdown because we are working on a lot of projects. And aside from the creative, I'm getting ready for the virtual show in August. We launched a podcast last week that's going to be like bi-monthly. That get three creators they're talking, and the first three creators we had on, it was pretty dope. We had George Medina, Rodney Fike, and Chandra Free, and it was just three creators having a chat. And as far as personal life goes, things have been good. I got me and my wife, we call it our kid. It's our dog.
Mm-hmm.
Walk our dog all the time. Dog keeps me going.
Saw the pictures. Cutie.
And the day job keeps me busy, so that's why it's like when you barely see me online posting, it's because I am working so much.
I know how that is.
Yeah, the whole transition right now, everyone's just trying to figure that out. And when you start putting you're putting everything in the fire, trying to get things going. My biggest frustration is you take 6 steps forward, you take 20 steps back because you got to figure out how to do stuff, like get things done. It's very frustrating. So yeah, I think everyone here knows all about that.
Well, one of my projects is almost done. I'm on the coloring phase, and I gotta thank George Medina because he's doing the lettering for me. So my comic, the first issue, is almost done.
That's awesome, man.
Love, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have anything you could show us?
What was that, Vic?
Do you have anything you could show us?
You know what? I'll show you something. Let me see if I can.
Oh, here we go.
Some good stuff. Some exclusive content.
I'll pull up the splash page that people are going to be introduced to. Hold on, I gotta go through my files. That's so much crap.
And you've been drinking. Good luck.
It's one Austin. One Austin. That's all it is.
It's coming.
It's a Shane Austin. There we go. All right. So I'm not gonna share the name yet. Okay. How do I file share? Okay. Share screen. Let's go to my baby. Where is it? Clip Studio. Page. All right. That's it. All right.
All right, we got to bring it up.
There it is.
That is the splash page right there.
Hey, that looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Vic and Joe are like be coming up with some ultra top secret stuff.
We might have to change some things.
Yeah. I think Sebastian and Vic and Joe were all on the same wavelength.
Yeah, they're going to be like, did you guys steal that from Sebastian? We're like, crap. This is cool, man. I dig it.
Good. It looks great.
Thank you. No, it's been a labor of love doing this whole thing. This actually, all those images are actually all individual images I put into one panel. So what I want to do is eventually get the first 3 issues, collect them into an art book for a graphic novel, and all those art pieces are going to be there, and they're going to be most likely featured on the and Beyond website once we create the page and everything to introduce all the characters. So one of the great things playing D&D, it helped with creating a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
Creating the look, the vibe, and believe it or not, these are like the 5th and 6th versions of the characters. And actually, the character in the middle with the red hair right there, with that has like the cross, that's wearing the black outfit, that's actually Eric Hutch's character, Crimson Huntress. So what I did is in the book, as you go by, there are some characters that are actually making cameo appearances that are in other stories of and Beyond.
Yeah,
so it's like just having fun with it. But yeah, like the Lion Dude, he's a character I've been playing with for years.
I recognize him.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked because like it's like we talk about like how a lot of people, we tap into a lot of the same stuff, but it's like I just been having fun with it, and just like, you know what, I want to draw characters that I want to draw, and I want to write a story that I want to write. And hitting 40 this weekend, I'm like, you know what, I don't give a shit what people say. I'm gonna write what I want to. It's coming out.
Yeah, buddy, you got 1 year on me. I turn 40 December 28th. December 28th.
Damn, I'm probably the oldest one here, am I?
Nope. I'm just gonna say that.
We're the young ones in this group.
I am the old. I'm old. I am old.
All right, so Gerald's 60 and Vic is 41. All right, we got it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, close. I'm 45.
Yeah.
44.
I'm not scared to say my age. It's fine. I'm 45.
Yeah. I got years on you guys. So
usually I am the oldest guy that walks into a room. When I'm the youngest guy, I'm like, oh shit. That feels good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we're ready to shut this thing down. We're ready to say goodnight. I want to make sure that we do this again Thursday next week. If you guys are still watching, hanging out with us, we talked about Batman. If you want to watch it again later, talk to all the way through Batman, man. We talked about everything, every spoiler you could possibly think about, every good thing, every bad thing, everything in between, even into the water, like in the muck. So that was cool. And yeah, we talked about Star Wars and then got into it. So this is good. It was good times. And we get to see what freaking Vic has been working on, the Walking Dead piece. And maybe we'll see Batman. I love that. That's your pencils on that. Oh my God. Ridiculous. So good.
I don't do traditional very often, so
but when he does.
Yeah.
Gerald, bring up your Batman so we can see it.
Right.
Bring up the lines of glory.
This will be the last thing that we see tonight then. So let me share screen. Hold on a second. It's still very light, but you can see it. So
perfect, man. I love it.
Good composition, bro.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's a guy getting kneed in the face, like right here, and then I'm gonna put another guy right here. But it's the beginning of a composition.
Insane.
So we'll see.
I love it. What gun does he have?
I don't know. I don't remember that gun in the. I'm looking at the Hot Toys pictures, which I had to tell you that Hot Toys version of Batman, it looks great. But I liked how he had the built into his wrist gauntlets. He had like the guns that shoot the cables out. Thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was smart.
But he has like another gun that he keeps, like he has on his thigh. It's a larger gun, but I don't know what it does. It wasn't in the movie. So anyway,
Hot Toys just like to give you accessories. That's all.
Yeah,
so
that's what it is.
Like, you take it out the box, you're just gonna fucking use it.
I know. It's like, what is it? It's not a real gun because he's not a gun guy. So I don't know what it's used for.
It's not his thing.
Yeah, it's like it's like I don't use guns. That's your thing.
Yeah,
I love it.
But
I like that line. That was a great line.
If you guys don't know, Gerald is actually working on our character design for all the stuff for our magazine comic that's going to be coming out. Roy's got our first. He's working on the first comic right now, in the first mag. Gerald's got the second one. Once we get it to him, I get it to him.
We'll see.
And then character design, which would be great. I always get frustrated. I was frustrated with that Batman because I until the movie came out, you didn't have a lot of images to like look at all the bits and pieces of his suit.
Yeah, they all come out now. There's so many good photos.
Yeah, so seeing all the stuff that you're able to do with that, with this full suit and everything is pretty cool.
Nice.
All right. Go ahead and share, follow, like, subscribe, hang out, chat, share. What else can we do? Hit the bell for notifications. You know what to do if you're on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube and you hang out with us on all other platforms, go to YouTube, hook us up, hit a freaking friendly like and subscription so that we can hit that algorithm a little bit harder. All right, that's all I got to say. Oh, I do have one other thing to say. I lied. Next week we're definitely I'm gonna push to have a ladies' night. I'm gonna push to get the ladies to come out and hang out with us. Do a whole ladies' night thing.
In honor of it being Ladies' Month too, right? But not in honor. Sure. It's just coincidence. It's just coincidence.
Coincidence.
But I'm gonna say actually one thing because we still got a full weekend of stuff to do. So Vic and I will be hosting another guest from Rage Studios, Mr. Ramon Perez. It'll be really cool to see what he's up to. And Rage Studios are our brothers in Canada. They're putting together. They just have a phenomenal stable of talent. There's so many talented artists there, and we're going to be featuring a lot of those artists this month. So look forward to seeing that and let it out for the rest of March. So anyway, that's it. Oh, we're going to try it. It's March. So we're going to be doing our own March Madness. We're going to do this. We kind of hinted about it. It's the last indie character standing thing that we're going to be doing. And I have to get 2 more creatives in there, and we're gonna have a bracket, so we're gonna debut that this week. So it'll be really fun.
It's been it's been really cool because like Vic, you guys all created these cards that were really awesome with like all these IP owners that you worked with their characters to create this sort of like battle bracket thing.
It's gonna be fun
in with March Madness, so that'll be a lot of fun.
So we'll announce it. We'll announce it.
A good way to be able to integrate with the audience and allow them to sort of vote for who they like and get those fan bases out there to sort of to battle it out to see who has the greatest fan base.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So look forward to seeing that on our
Larry
Facebook
fixed Niobe up, his Niobe character up. He only did half numbers on her. So other than that, exciting stuff. Thanks, Sebastian, for coming on. Hanging out with us. Bringing the legit nerd culture onto the show.
Oh, come on. You guys bring it to
you got the
nerdy and the deeds.
Yeah, we're just we're the real nerd. Please stand up.
Yeah.
that's Sebastian. So we're happy that you're here. So anyway, is that it? Anybody else want to say anything? Put their 2 cents in before we head on out.
No, just catch me every Tuesday.
I think we're done.
Oh yeah. Gotch Nerds of the Round on Tuesdays. Gotta
Nerds are around every Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We are no longer on Facebook because Facebook sucks.
We're doing a little bit of the same thing, man. We're only using Facebook to chat and promote a little bit.
Oh yeah. Also to Beyond Con virtual show August 20th, 21st. VIP and tables are already up. It's free to participate. We do have extended booths where it's pretty much advertisement on the site for a whole year. And we create a whole VIP package for people and everything. So we're looking to build that to make the this is our 3rd year running that show, so we're looking to have as many creators come through as network and panels. So Beyond Con, save the date, 2021st. You can watch it from wherever you're at.
Awesome.
Yeah,
killed it.
Sebastian with his pitch, man. I gotta take some lessons on how to be that.
I'm trying to be like you guys.
I have to have that flow. I have that flow. All right,
Vic, take us home, brother.
All right, here we go. Have a good one, everyone.
See ya. Love ya.